What's up, everybody? This is your boy Monty Fit. Today I'm gonna take you through a chest workout. I'm gonna really show you how to really target those pecs. So before we get started on our main workout, what we're gonna do first is we're gonna start warming up. All right. So our warm up is gonna consist of ISO movements. We're gonna use the cable machine, the Nautilus back here, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get these pecs nice and warmed up. Okay. All right. Is We're gonna do some chest, some flies, right? That's gonna warm up the center pecs, right? We want to get all those. We want to get that nice and filled with blood, right? So that way, when we move on to our compound exercises, we actually feel the pump. A lot of times, what a lot of people suffer from is they'll either have dominant delts, frontal delts, or they'll have like long arms, and it kind of takes the tension away from the chest, the pecs, So what I'm going to do is I like to warm up first, being such a big, tall guy, as you can see, and it really takes a lot of the tension away from my chest when I'm really trying to work my chest. So if I was over there on the flat bench and I'm trying to do a bench press, I work my arms more so than I would work my chest, and that's because I have long arms. Now versus if I had shorter arms, somebody with shorter arms, they're able to work the chest. But if you notice, somebody with shorter arms usually has a bigger chest, more wider chest. So that's why their chest gets more developed. They get more tension in the area, more tension on the load in that area. So you have to work out for your morphology, because if you don't, and your friend, like say you come into the gym and you working out with a buddy, and your friend is like 5'9" and you over there at 6'4", you gonna have different results. His chest growing, yours not. You know what I'm saying? You still lifting the same amount of weight, but his chest growing, yours not. So what's getting stronger? His chest getting stronger, but yours is not getting stronger. Is you lifting the weight, but your arms are getting stronger, your delts are getting stronger, your shoulders are getting stronger. The synergist muscles that's assisting with lifting that weight is getting stronger than the main muscle group that is supposed to be working, right? So this is how we fix that. We're gonna do some flies, right? Then we're gonna do some low to highs, and then we're gonna do some chest press with the cables, okay? All right. So one thing you want to remember when you're doing these exercises too, you want to squeeze your chest. So you want to squeeze at the finishing movement. So at the top, it's not about bringing your arms together and then opening them back up. It's not about that. It's about contracting the muscles that you're intending to work. That's why that mind-muscle connection, when they mean by mind-muscle connection, is you making a connection with that muscle by contracting that muscle, squeezing that muscle, holding that tension for 2 to 3 seconds, then releasing that. And what that does is it fills that muscle up with blood. So every repetition, every time you squeeze, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. You feel more tension. So when you're doing this, you have to be very mindful and pay attention. You can't be swinging the weights, throwing your arms up and doing all this rocking. You're defeating the purpose. You're wasting your time. Don't waste your time if you're coming in the gym and you lifting weights. Number one, you're wearing your joints out. Number two, you got other things better to do than sit up in here and toss weight around. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to be effective with your training. So when you come in here, you know what to do, and you out the door. Train smart, not hard. So like you can see when I was doing a cable chest press, you can see that it was working the top shelf, right? So what we do is we superset those. We do flies, and then from there we do chest press. We press with the cables, right? What that's gonna do is that's gonna get this top shelf activated. So this line that runs across here, you feel a whole lot of tension in there. So we building symmetry in the chest, so we don't have, you know, undeveloped areas. So the chest doesn't look sloped, you know, either going down or up. It has a symmetrical, looks like a plate, you know what I'm saying? Like it got that stamp of approval, you know? So yeah, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna do load highs to work the upper pecs, right? You remember, guys, always remember, I can't express this enough. Squeeze at finish. Squeeze at the top. Squeeze. Always. You're wasting your time if you're doing it and you do not feel a pump in your chest. If you're doing it and your arms are burning, but your chest don't have no tension, you don't feel tight, bro, you're wasting time. Like, you might as well just go ahead and do a couple of push-ups to your chest, because you got a better chance of getting a nice pump doing push-ups than going over there and trying to throw up 225, you know? So that's why it's always good to get a good warm-up prior to doing those exercises. You know, again, if your morphology says otherwise, because again, some people come in here, again, their morphology allows them to go straight to the bench press and they get the results, versus someone like myself or somebody who might be like me will not have the same effect, will not get the same results. So it's not a one size fit all when it comes to this stuff. It's all about, you know, learning yourself, you know, pretty much like life, right? You got to know how to master yourself. So that's what it's about. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out these 3 exercises, and then we're gonna move on to our compound. All right, let's get it. Hey guys, so what are we gonna do now is we're gonna hit dumbbells. Again, I don't really like to use the flat bench. I only do it if I'm trying to hit my PR. I don't necessarily see the benefits in using the flat bench, or let alone using barbell weights. Again, it's all dependent on your morphology. So again, if you are more prone to having a big chest, any type of chest exercise will grow your chest. If you are pec dominant, if you are not pec dominant, not every chest exercise will target the pecs. So you have to be mindful of that. And another thing is, what I love about doing those isolations first is that it really helps you, it stops you from doing the ego lifting, right? So we're not gonna come over here and pick up the biggest dumbbell and try and throw it up, you know, and risk injuring ourselves, or trying to impress somebody or some chick that we see working out next to us. You know what I'm saying? Come in here, you get your moderate to intensity. So you want to do at least 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max. So for me, my 1 rep max is, I say about 120, right? I know you probably think I'll do 125, I bet, but no, 120. So 120, 80% of 120 is, I have no clue. So what we're gonna say 80% of 120 is, we're gonna say take these 80-pound dumbbells, right? That's gonna be not 80%, sorry, 70%. We're gonna take the 80-pound dumbbells. I'm gonna start off with my 8. Then from there, I'm gonna go up 10, do the 90s. That's gonna be my 6. Then I'm gonna do 100s. That's gonna be my 4. And then I'm gonna do my 110s. That's gonna be my 2. Then reverse 2, 4, 6, 8. Right? Let's get. The thing I want to mention, guys, is when you're doing inclines, because I like to start off with inclines. So if you're wondering why I start off with inclines first, I start off on inclines if I'm doing chest. I warm up, I hit my inclines first, then I work my way down. Being that inclines are the hardest ones to do. So why do reverse? Why go start from the ground up when you're not going to be able to get the most out of your incline bench press, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off in inclines. When you're doing inclines, right, or when you're just doing presses in general, rule of thumb is a lot of times people like to take the weight, they angle out their elbows, and then they push up. That's really working the shoulders, right? Feel a lot of tension in your rear delt, or not your rear delt, sorry, your frontal delt, like that. What you want to do is you want to tuck those elbows, right? You want to put that chest out, and you want to push through your chest. You'll feel a lot more tension in your pecs than you would here, because a lot of the tension has shifted to the shoulders. Again, we're not working shoulders, we're working chest. This is why a lot of people have they have issues with developing their chest in proper form, not warming up the right way. So it's a ton of things that we're gonna address in this video. All right. Another thing, guys, if you're doing your reps and you feel like you can get another one, don't do it. Save your strength. You still got more reps, and you got to get to the end of your exercise. So if you feel like you got one more in you for that set, because the weight feel like it's not as heavy as you thought it was, don't worry about it. Just go a little bit higher when you do your next set, right? So that way you'll meet your expectations on the next set. But don't try to get the extra rep. Save your strength. Keep it pushing to the next exercise, because we're trying to finish out, right? Because you don't want to overdo it. You do more reps on this one. Then when you move on to your next set, you missing one rep, right? Don't make sense. Stick to the protocol. Get through the workout. Let's keep it moving. And that's exactly what I mean, guys, by saving your strength. You see, with the 110s, I struggled to get those 2 reps. Now, had I went the extra mile when I was doing my second set, I wouldn't have been able to get those. So it's always important, again, stick to protocol, all right? So now I'm gonna work my way back down. I'll work my way back up. Then I'll move on to flat bench and hit some flies, all right? So now we're gonna do some presses, the pecs. We did upper, so now we're finna do mid. And then from there, we're gonna hit the lower pecs, really attack this part because this is important because, you know, especially if you got man boobs, you wanna get rid of those man boobs. Definitely important, so you definitely wanna stay tuned for that. Yeah. So, and also I chose this machine. I know I was gonna do the flat bench, but I chose this one because this one has a good range of motion, you know, and it helps, it really works on the isolation portion, right? So, all right, without further ado, let's get to it. Paying attention, notice that I didn't allow my elbows to rise up. So a lot of times when people are doing this exercise, they tend to raise the elbow, try and compensate for the lack of strength they have in the serratus. Remember, when you're doing push-ups, you're doing any pushing movement, you're using the serratus here, right? This portion right here, you're using that. That's supposed to help you push up off the ground, dumbbells, your bench press, etc. So when you're raising your elbows high to compensate for the lack of strength you have, you shift the tension towards, again, the front delts. You're not doing shoulders, okay? So we gotta stay mindful of that. All right, so yeah, always keep that in mind. Tuck those elbows, push through, stick that chest out, keep a proud chest, push through it, work that chest, shoulders back, pinch those shoulder blades, push, push, all right? And that's how you're gonna build a bigger, nice, developed and firm chest. All right, let's get back to it. So what we got next is we're gonna do some chest press for the lower pecs, right? So this is what we're gonna do. This is gonna target the lower pecs and really hit that bottom shelf. So again, we want to get rid of man boobs, right? We don't want man boobs. So we really got to work this portion of the chest. And this is how we're going to do it. Also with another cable movement. Once we're done here, we're going to go back to the Nautilus and I'm going to show you how we're going to also attack this portion of the chest. And you also have other variations, other exercises too, like dips and yeah, dips, cables, and this bad boy right here. And also the decline bench. But for now, we're gonna use the hamstring. Let's get it. Already feeling the pump in the lower portion of my pecs just off of doing that. Again, when you're doing this, especially if you're going to use the hamstring, you want to elevate the seat high. I probably got the seat elevated a little bit too high. I'm going to lower it just a little bit. Yeah, that's just about right. But you want to have the bar, the grips right below the chest, right there below the chest, right? So when you're pushing through, again, you don't want to have you wide. You don't want your legs wide. You want to bring them up, kind of cross them or whatever makes you feel comfortable, but keep them together. And you want to really isolate those lower pecs. So when you're pushing through, you extend your arms are fully extended. Again, always remember, you want to squeeze at the end. So you want to get a nice squeeze there. That's pumping blood into that portion of the chest, pectoris major. And that's how we filling that blood up. That's how we getting that definition. Okay? All right, let me keep it going. And last but not least are flies. Now we're gonna do this at an incline, right? You can use an incline bench, or you can use something that's gonna give you, have you in a 45-degree angle or less. This is really going to target. You're going to really hit the bottom shelf of those pecs. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's get this over with. Yeah, that felt so good. All this from here all the way over. Best exercise I recommend. So I expect to see a lot of people doing this. All right. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. And also share. All right. Help me reach more followers. Help me get recognized. I got a lot to offer. I got a lot to teach about fitness when it comes to this stuff. All right. Peace out. Thank you for watching.